Today we're talking today we're talking about the Moman ML9 RGB light. But first, if you're new to the channel, my name is Anson, and on this channel we talk about filmmaking, specifically budget gear, tutorials, and the behind the scenes look at the projects that I'm working on. So if that's something you're into, consider subscribing. A few weeks ago, Moman reached out to me to review the ML9 RGB light. I've actually been sitting on this light for a better part of a month. I've used this light pretty extensively on a lot of my product shots lately, and so I've got a good feel for what I think about this light. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about my pros and cons and what I think about this light and if I would recommend this light. Let's talk about my first pro, and that is just the overall build and design of this light. This light is a freaking tank. I don't know what material specifically they're using, but it feels like an all metal construction aside from the diffusion cover on the front, which is plastic, but otherwise just a sturdy build. I also love the sleekness of the design as well. I've used some lights lately that have some different like edges and just like grooves and things like that. And while it makes the light look really cool, it's really hard to stand up on its edge or side if you're just trying to place this down on a surface to get some extra pop of light. So that being said, having this sleek, just sturdy build is one of the first pros I have for this light, and I've been really impressed with it. Now with that as well, another pro for me is the fact that it does come with a magnetic back. I think every light that is this size and offers what this light does should come with a magnetic back. I think if you're gonna use a light like this, you want the ability just to kind of snap it onto a metal surface and just start filming. Now another pro for me is the fact that it charges via USB-C. I have a couple lights in my collection that are still using micro USB, and honestly, I'm just kind of over it. We all just need to switch over to USB-C. It's so much of a better connection. It charges so much faster. And so having that on this light is an amazing feature. The other thing I appreciate about this light is the long battery life. I actually tried to put this light through its paces as far as battery life on a shoot where I did a long time lapse. This light did not disappoint. Now, Moman does boast that at 100%, you get around 140 minutes of runtime out of this light, and at 5%, you get 24 hours. I've never tested that because I don't normally leave my lights on just the whole entire day, but that's pretty impressive. And so that is another pro for me, is the overall battery life. And then the last pro for me is just general output. This thing is stupid bright. Matter of fact, we're gonna do a little bit of test. I'm gonna turn off my key light, and if you're curious, I'm gonna turn on this light just to kind of show you what the output would look like if you were in a pinch and you needed this as a key light. So I'm gonna turn off my key light now. And I'm gonna put this roughly where my key light has been. And you can see that it's a harsh light because it's a smaller source of light, but it does light me really well. And so this is what it would look like if you had to use this as a key light in kind of a pinch. Again, it's not the same as using a big light dome and softbox, but again, if you're in a pinch, if you're out in a scenario, out in the field, and you need a makeshift key light, this will absolutely get the job done. I'm actually gonna turn it off now because I'm a little bit blinding myself. Okay, so those are some of my pros, but what about the cons? And I do have a couple cons, some things I don't like about this light. One con for me is the fact that it does not have an app integration. The fact that this is an $80 to $100 light and it has no app integration is just a huge miss for me. So that is a huge con. I think if you have a light like this, that is kind of the standard with these types of lights, that you can control the light through an app integration for things like a color picker, or just simply being able to set the lighting in your shot through an app on your phone. So I feel like that is a huge oversight with this light, especially at the price point that this light sits at. I do feel like it should have some app integration. The other con for me is that it doesn't really offer a ton of effects. Now I get that effects can be kind of a niche thing in filmmaking, but with a light like this, especially with how the market is with these types of lights, the fact that this doesn't offer a ton of effects is kind of a downside for me. And so with those cons in mind, would I recommend this light, and do I justify the price tag for the light that you're getting? And I would say yes, I kind of would justify the price tag of this light, because I do feel like while the Aperture MC, and for that matter the Falcon Eyes F7 Mini, While they do offer a lot of cool features like app integration and effects, I do feel like both of those lights sacrifice build quality and overall sturdiness, and possibly even output. This will give you output and amazing build quality. Yes, you're gonna be spending the same amount that you would for an Aperture MC, a lot more than a Falconized F7 Mini, but again, you'll be getting an amazing build quality, great material, just amazing battery life, and near blinding output. And so for that, I would absolutely recommend somebody check out this light. So that's it for me. I do wanna thank Moman for sending this out to me. I always appreciate having another light in my arsenal. As always, if you enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like. If you're digging the overall content from the channel, consider subscribing. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Stay safe, be happy, support each other. Wash those hands, and I'll see you here next time. Peace.